Hi friends. This story time we're going to read one of everyone's favorites, The Smallest Girl in the Smallest Grade. Written by Justin Roberts, illustrated by Christian Robinson. I've probably read this story to you guys 4 or 5 times this year, but everybody seems to really like it. Hardly anyone noticed young Sally McCabe. See if you can find the smallest girl in the smallest grade. Do you see her? Yep, there she is. She was the smallest girl in the smallest grade. Yep, there she is. Sure, her name could be heard in the daily roll call, and she marched with her books down the same school hall, but hardly anyone noticed young Sally McCabe. And they certainly didn't know, or at least didn't mention, that Sally was paying extra super careful attention. To the abandoned kite with the tangled string, to the 27 keys on the janitor's ring, to the leaves as they turned green to gold in the fall, to the time Timmy Torino was tripped in the hall. She watched as the wildflowers tipped toward the light, and heard the howl of a hound dog late one night. So when there was the stray cats who normally fought, conducted a meeting in the church parking lot. She saw Kevin McCune get pushed off a slide, and the oncoming tears that he wanted to hide. How do you think that friend feels? This one right here. Yeah. And she'll never forget that parent-teacher day when Billy's much larger father suddenly dragged him away. But through all the mean words and the cold stares, no one even noticed that Sally was there. And they certainly didn't know, or at least didn't mention, that Sally was paying super extra special attention. How do you think Sally felt if she felt like nobody was ever paying attention to her? Yeah, I bet. She'd seen how a whisper can make someone cower, like a bulldozer crashing through fields of wildflowers. And it kept piling up this discarded debris, those beautiful kites all tangled in trees. This is her metaphor right here for what it feels like when someone is not kind to someone else. So on February 3rd at 11:19, Sally stepped straight out of the lunchroom line. I wonder what she's going to do. She said, "I'm tired of seeing this terrible stuff. Stop hurting each other. This is enough." Now, if you laughed out loud or didn't care that there was some girl with her hand in the air, but then something super extra special happened that day as Howard O. Henry suddenly set down his tray. Like waves rolling in one after another, First Molly rose up, then Michael's twin brother. It was Tyrone and Terrence, then Amanda and Paul, who pushed out their chairs and stretched their arms tall. From the friendly lunch lady with the dishes she carted to that new third grade teacher who had only recently started. Yes, everyone there, even Principal Claire, had joined little Sally with their fingers in the air. And though hound dogs were destined to howl at night, and most stray cat meetings would end up as fights, and kites would continue to get stuck in trees, they all felt for a moment like the janitor's keys, fastened together with a steel ring that held all the secrets to unlock everything. As the world returned to the way it was, Sally noticed the difference, as she usually does. When Billy paused briefly to open the door for Mrs. O'Connell and 17 more. Or when Molly scooched over to make some space on the coral riser for Ellen and Grace. These moments that get often taken for granted, a wildflower appearing that no one had planted. Were friends being kind to one another? How do you think that made Sally feel? That's probably very good and proud. The swings soon resumed their rhythm and sway, and the day turned to night and the night turned to day. People remembered and would quite often mention that Sally had been paying super extra special attention, and how the world could transform and a change could be made by the smallest girl in the smallest grade. The end. So if you think that maybe you see someone or you feel like you're the smallest person in the room, does that mean that you can't be powerful? Nope, not at all. Miss Sally, she was the smallest girl in the smallest grade, and she was the most powerful student in her school. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys soon.